everybody. Welcome back to the Just One More Stitch YouTube podcast. I am super excited to be back and to be doing videos and sharing with you guys what I have been up to, what I've been making, what I want to make, where I've been going, what I've been doing, all of the things. If you are new to the channel, which I saw that so many people subscribed while I have been away, and it's been about a year. So hi, hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And for everybody that stayed subscribed while I was gone for a year, thank you. Thank you so much. You don't know how much it meant to me to be able to go back in and look at the channel, even though I couldn't record videos, and still see that people were still enjoying the videos that I made, because I really enjoyed making them. So with that said, let me tell you where I've been and why I stopped making videos. This is gonna kind of be a little weird for me because I haven't shared this story and en masse yet. So this is gonna kind of be new for me. If you don't want to know why I haven't been here, I'll put a timestamp up on the screen for you so that you can just skip to the rest of the video about what I've been working on and my finished objects. I'll put a timestamp up here for you. But for those of you that are like, oh, where have you been and what have you been doing? So the short and sweet of it is that last summer, I guess around April or May of last summer, I had got to the point where I was having super bad headaches. They had started the August before, and they had just progressively gotten worse and worse and worse. And I am one of those people that is like, you know, the body can figure it out. Whatever is wrong, it'll work itself out. But it got to the point where I couldn't function. And so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just go and I'll get some migraine medication because that must be what it is, right? No. So I went to the doctors, and by that time I had started to develop a mild twitch, and I figured it was just because of stress. And I'm a mortgage underwriter by day. Plus I've been working on some other things, and so I think it was just a case of just one thing on top of the other, and it was just too much stress. And I just, you know, if I reduced my stress, then the twitching would go away. But that wasn't the case. I went to the doctors. The doctor had a CT scan done, which turned into 2 MRIs. And they came back with a diagnosis that said I was going through a series of mini strokes. So my body was flashing the warning signs saying, hey, everything is just too much and you need to make it better. I ended up with a small amount of brain damage in the frontal part of my brain, which was interesting and kind of weird to see. But so I ended up having to stop knitting, because once I got the diagnosis, of course, then my stress levels just went up more, and I was trying to work with my boss to be able to try to get into a different position with my job, and it was just a lot. So I decided to take a break from making videos. In the interim, I had a mini stroke that I'm pretty sure happened at my desk at work. And I remember the exact moment because like my whole left arm froze up. And once it did, I didn't have like this, I lost a lot of the flexibility in my arm, and I ended up with a fair amount of twitching from that point forward that I had to work my way through. So yeah, that's where I've been for the last year, is working my way through that, getting myself back to some semblance of normalcy and a baseline again. And of course, if you twitch a lot, it's hard to knit. It's even harder to crochet. So those were things that I could no longer do. So my knitting had to sit by the wayside for quite some time, which kind of sucked. And then I was able to start knitting again, but I was only able to do it in small increments because while I was working on my arm, the neurologist was like, you can't do anything that is repetitive. It's not going to be good for your arm. Well, of course, when you knit, what do? This is it. This is your lane. So I was able to knit here or there for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I had to stop. So I really didn't get a lot done. But now, here we are. It is September 3rd, 2025. It is creeping up on the fall, which is my favorite time of year, and I just want to give it a try. I want to get back into my YouTube videos. I miss talking to you guys and sharing what I've been making or what I want to make, or answering you questions about patterns and just sharing in general. I miss the community because I've been fairly isolated while I've been going through this, just with my family, and that's pretty much been my lane. So I'm super excited to be back and to be able to start sharing what I've been working on. Okay, so with that said, now that you know where I've been, I guess let me tell you what I've been working on, and we'll also talk about what it is that I want to work on and why. So I have so much to tell you. Okay, so first, what have I been working on? I have been working on a simple affair. This is what the pattern looks like. All right, so a simple affair is a simple shawl, I know, and I do have a goal for it. I picked it because I thought that the ribbing was actually really pretty. That goes on the edging, and the ribbing, it happens at the end, which I was like, okay, cool. So I'm wondering if it's kind of like an applied bind off, you know how I'm almost to the point where we're gonna find out. So we'll see. Okay, where am I? I just finished the last eyelet section, and I'm doing the last bit of increases. Repeat rows 3 and 4 9 times until you have 401 stitches, and then we start the twisted rib border. The pattern calls for fingering plus lace, or they have a lace plus lace version. I did fingering plus lace. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I have a whole lot of mystery yarn. Well, I don't anymore because I destashed a lot of it while I was out of commission. But for once, I actually know what the yarn is. So first, here is where I am so far. Here is what it's looking like. Isn't that just fabulous, fluffy squishiness? This is the right side of the work, and there's my stitch marker. It's a little fish in a bag. Yeah. This was actually a super easy, super quick knit, very forgiving. I do believe 2 places where when I was knitting the 2 strands, I actually missed. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. Yep, right there. There's one right there. But because it's garter stitch, you can't really tell. And if you're new here, something you should know, I'm very much it's not a flaw, it's a feature. So very rarely do I go back and take something out. If there's like some crazy super work, then yeah, you kind of have to. Or if it's like mosaic knitting, I'll definitely take out the mistake. But garter stitch, I'm not taking out the mistake. So that's where I am, and the yarn that I am using is, I have the label for one but not the other. I am using Malabrigo's Mershata, and the colorway is 343, and the color is called Legend, and this is what it looks like when it's balled up all by itself. It's really pretty, and I'll tell you what's funny is I was working on this project and I ended up with a ball of yarn about this big, and I was like, oh, I don't have enough yarn. And so the first time in a year I had to buy yarn, and I literally took a picture of what I had left of the yarn and put it in Google Lens to see if the yarn existed anywhere. Anyway, so for the first time in a year, I had to buy a new skein of yarn. And when I put it into the Google Lens, it came right up, and I was like, oh my gosh, the yarn still exists. I'm so excited. And so I bought a new ball of yarn so I can finish the project. So to me, that was a big deal to actually buy a new ball for the first time in a year. And the other one is yarn from Stash, and I had this yarn is from an Etsy shop called The Crooked Kitchen, and the colorway is called Mischievous Grin, and it's a mohair silk blend, and I absolutely love it. It's got purples and tan and ochre and cream, a little bit of orange, a little bit of gold. It's got like 2 or 3 different shades of purple. So it's pretty much this yarn, this one, just in like the mohair form. And together, they worked really well and complemented each other and softened the hue. And my original skein that I had of the Marshata Legend was probably, I don't know, like 2-year-old skein. So I was really worried about the dye lot, but it actually turned out to be just fine. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. What have I finished since the last time I talked to you guys? All right, so what have I finished? I have been working on some hats, and my goal is to knit 12 hats, 1 hat every month. I gave myself 15 months to do it for the obvious reasons. So I started a couple of months ago working on the hats, and all of them are mystery yarns. I have no idea what I used. First thing I made was Petite Knits Oslo hat, and it's pretty. I love it. I did not enjoy knitting it. I felt like I kind of got stuck in just knit land. Like it was a never-ending project. So I love the hat. I'm super excited to wear it when I get to where I'm going. But I didn't want to knit another one. So I made 1 Oslo hat, and I think I finished it in January. Possibly. Maybe. Yeah, I think it was January. After that, I figured that I would try the Petite Knit hipster hat, and that I actually really did enjoy. So, you know, everybody's knit the Petite Knit hipster hat. It's a pretty straightforward pattern. It's really just the decreases that make this hat. And this, for whatever reason, didn't seem as tedious, I guess because it was ribbing and then you got down to the decreases and the decreases just happened and they were done. So for this, I made 2, and I'm working on a 3rd one. And again, mystery yarns. I don't know what they were. Let me take my scrunchie off. So here is the first one that I made. Yeah, this is the first one. Where's the decreases so you can see them? There they are. Can you see them? So I made this one and I really enjoyed it, but it's a little short. I was playing yarn chicken with some yarn that I had left over. Yeah. So I made this one, and then I had some, this is fingering weight and mohair held together. This one is fingering weight and mohair held together as well. Again, mystery yarn. And this one, I wasn't playing yarn chicken with. There's the pretty, come on, you can do it. There we go. There's the pretty decreases. And this one is a little bit bigger than the other one, so I've got a little bit more space. Not much, but a little bit more. And yeah, I don't know, maybe half an inch longer. So this one will give me a bit more space. This one might be more of slouchy, but this one's definitely going to be a very fitted hat. And then since I enjoyed it so much, I was like, oh, let's make another one. And this will be my last one. After 3 hipster hats, I was finally, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm finished. So for this one, I decided to do 2 strands of fingering weight yarn held double. And I just pulled something from Stash that I had, and this is what I have left. I'm not playing yarn chicken. I'm on the decreases, so I'm good. And this is where we are. The ribbing is all done. Hey, get back on the needle. What are you thinking? Thank you very much. So yeah, I like this fabric, and it's thicker than the other one. So, but I think it'll be just as warm. I'm just starting my decreases. I've done 6 of the 14 rows of the first batch of decreases. That's where I am. And there is my little progress keeper guy. He's a Queen's Guard. And that's where I am on that. So that's my one UFO. Those are my finished objects. I don't have any socks on the needles, but I am hoping to rectify that this week. Let's see, what else? Okay, so since you know what I've been working on, I guess let me tell you the logic behind knitting hats in the summertime in Florida. So for those of you that don't know, I was originally born in England and I currently live in the United States in Florida. My kids are all grown and are going to start moving out over the next couple of months, and I've decided that I'd like to go back to England. I am going to be 50 next January, and I'm ready to go home and ready to start the second stage of my life. So I want to go back to England. So that's kind of the logic behind knitting the hats, because the goal is to be back in England in October of 2026. And October in England is cold and you need hats. So I'm knitting hats. That's also the logic behind the Simple Thing shawl. I figure I can turn it into a neck scarf and wear it inside my coat on my chest in the wintertime. Because I know there is going to be a transition after living in Florida for too long. So there you go. You guys are now officially all caught up. You know where I've been, why I've been gone, what I'm working on, what I've been working on, why I've been working on. Next, I am going to do a video on fingering weight yarn, 12 patterns that I want to knit, because obviously, if I'm going to be going back to England, this means I need to work my way through what's left of my stash. And in my next video, I will tell you guys about a really cool spreadsheet that I built to keep track of my stash, and I will probably share it with you guys if you want to use it as well. So the first video that I'm going to do after this one is going to be 12 patterns using fingering weight yarn that are free patterns. And I think there's only 2 sock patterns in there. And the next one will be fingering weight paid for patterns. There's currently 25 in the bundle. I need to whittle that bundle down. So that will be the next video. And then of course in the middle of the videos will be the whatever it is that I'm currently working on, if I get anything new cast on, and I will definitely be sharing that as well. So, okay, this video is going to be somewhere around 30 minutes long. I think that's long enough. That tells you guys everything that you need to know. I am going to sit down and record our next video so that we can get them edited and posted back to back. Either way, I am super, super, super happy to be back. I am so happy that there's so many new friends on the channel, and I am so looking forward to being able to catch up with everybody, talk to you, find out how everybody's been doing for the past year. Please feel free to comment. Just, you know, let me know what have you guys been working on. Are there any new patterns out there that you guys think I might like based on what I like to knit? A little bit of orange, a little bit of gold. It's got like 2 or 3 different shades of purple. So it's pretty much this yarn, this one, just in like the mohair form. And let's get back into it and hang out. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I hope everyone is wonderful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.